Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. This is a very important one, and make sure you share out. Number one is that I have this to say: if you are Christ-like, you would not want to limit people from what you know that it is their right to do so. Right? Because if you are doing that, you are not Christ-like. So this is what is going on. Christian nationalist pastor Joe Webber explains why he opposed women voting, right? And he was asked, he said that if he has his wand, that what he is going to do is to stop women from voting. Now, let me tell us something. A particular group of women, are used to voting against their own interests and come back eventually to tell us that they are sorry, that can black people save or black women save democracy for them. Let me tell you something. You all are seeing all this. We've been screaming it. We've been shouting it, right? If you all decided to mess up, trust me, 2024, we all are going to stay in that mess till 2028. There is no black woman or black people coming to save democracy this year, next year, or any time, right? So if you all decided that what you are going to do is to mess around, you are absolutely going to mess around and find out. Let's get into this video.
Listen to what Christian nationalists want to do to America.
Let's say you can wave your Christian nationalist wand. We wake up tomorrow in a Christian nation, a Christian nationalist nation as you're describing, all right? There's a lot of fears that people have. Here's one of them. Will women have the right to vote tomorrow if you wave that magic Christian wand?
No.
Okay, why not? I want to get into why not. Yeah, that's great.
Because if we had a Christian nation tomorrow and women did have the right to vote, we would not have a Christian nation within 50 years.
Okay, elaborate a little bit on that.
Because the husband has been appointed by God as the head of his home, and no-fault divorce and women's suffrage, more than anything else, ultimately split the household. So we're not talking about women not having a say in society. We're talking about representative government.
That's right.
Right now, there are people in Williamson County, Texas, where I'm a resident, who represent me. No one gets to represent themselves in every single scenario.
That's right.
We are all represented by somebody else, whether we like it or not. So why not have women and children represented by a man who loves them and is willing to die for them, protects them, and provides for them? I would love to be represented by just one person in civil government who has that level of commitment to
That's
them.
good.
So it's not about, men get to vote and women don't, and no, it's about the household vote. The individual building block of society, according to the Word of God, is not atomistic individuals. It is the molecule, not the atom, but the molecule of the family.
Yeah.
The family unit should not be separated. What God has joined together, let no man put asunder. And I believe that women's suffrage was just one liberal attempt by people who hated Christ to sever the covenant bond between husband and wife. And that's what happened. We would not have one Democrat president. This is a statistic fact. We would not have one Democrat president in the last 50 years if women couldn't vote. So I don't want women to vote because I want strong marriages. I want cohesive households. I want representative government all the way down to the family. And I also want babies not murdered.
Yeah.
I don't want drag queen story hour. I don't want rainbow jihad. And none of that could happen if women couldn't vote.
Ladies, are you down for that? Because that's what they mean by making America great again. What Christian nationalists want to do to America.
Y'all can go back and watch it. All I want to say is, I don't know why y'all keep messing with them folks. The Christian people, I don't want shit to do with them. Because at the end of the day, they're about slavery. They're about bondage. I don't know why anybody wants to be a part of that group. That group is crazy. That group does not bring healthy anything to anybody. This guy's talking about taking women's rights away. Oh, the women's suffrage. Oh, he wants to go back to the time when the forefathers was in charge. I'm just telling y'all, Christianity is bullshit. Ain't nothing Christian about them folks. You go and enslave some people and then want to tell others that I love the Lord. No, you do not. You don't even know Black Jesus. What you know is you're crazy. You just want to be in power. And you really need to just go sit your ass down and take that damn pastor jacket off and don't say shit to nobody no more. These people out here, and I'm not lying, this is some bullshit. If y'all go back and watch the whole thing, you're going to be like, damn, all I'll be like, I'm happy I done left the church alone, because that shit right there, I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be bothered. Leave me alone. Leave me the fuck alone.
Listen to what Christian nationalists want to do to America.
These are the same people that incorporate so many things and try to write everything in stone to many other people who are not into religion. You know, when I look at the story in the Bible about the two men, one felt that he was righteous in God's eye because he was a tax-paying citizen. He paid his tithes, he go to church every day, and this and everything. And he felt that he follows everything according to the good book. And the other man was not doing so well financially. And he pretty much, can come to church whenever he can, but he barely can do so much as far as paying tithes. And, it's not like he doesn't love the Lord. It's just that he has so many special things in his mind right now that he doesn't focus. So these two men had approached to the Lord, and they gave their offering, their sacrifice, or whatever, and they pretty much made their confession. So God turned to the one who was lacking, and he spoke to him and said, I shall bless you. And he also said to him, because he knew that he saw that he had a clean heart, okay? And the other one who was boasting and bragging and thought that he was at the level, he basically said to him, he said, yeah, but those are things that you're supposed to do. But other actuality, when last you help anybody? And he couldn't answer. And the reason why I use that little passage, because it's in the Bible, I just put it in a narrative for people to understand, is because God knows, he knows who. And like I said, he takes the lower degree and he makes them high, okay, in his own accord. And he sees right through people. These are organizations that's more farther worse than other religious groups who tries to run the government. We had one particular government that was ruled for many, many years, and even to this now, they deal with all the vital statistics, which is the vital statistics that deals with your birth certificate, your marriage certificate, your death certificate, your social security. They're the ones who made all the rules and regulation. And then even though the Constitution says, and even the Declaration of Independence say there's a separation between church and state, I don't think so. Okay? These are the same people that go to the White House and want to change every rules. And then you thinking it's a state government that's doing it. No, it's them. Okay? They are the rider wing. They're the ones that's going to cause the causation and want to come up with projects like projects 2024 and 25. They're the ones who want to change the whole narrative. They already did with Roe versus Wade, affirmative action, all kinds of stuff. I always say to myself that religion should be separate because not everybody wants to embrace into religion. Okay, people should have the rights. People are not following the Constitution. which is the First Amendment. Okay, regardless of our people was not independent until the late 1800s, but we still have the right to have that First Amendment amended. And when you have people that come on TV and they claim that they are a certain religion, but you never see any type of minority in their religion, you only see their face, and they be saying some racist stuff, and these are the same people that will come and make laws. And when they make these laws, because they use their money and their leverage to turn around to make these laws turn around, then you wonder why we have people that's like the Limburg Project and the Nuremberg Project, and we have people that still believe we should have Woodrow Wilson as president, and we should have Nixon as president, or Reagan as president, because they're the ones that was behind the scenes, who was the executive agents that put a push towards them to start wars, to start problems, to mess up the economy, all kinds of stuff. And meanwhile, you see their churches looking like monument buildings where they have a whole tent full of people, and they don't even reach out to these people to see why economically, why we're having problems. Okay? These are the people that invest in natural resources, and we having problems where they created the inflation. Okay? And these are people that they pretended they don't monitor your social media. They monitor your social media, because when you're hearing people say, oh, I was on TMZ and I was on this and I was on that, because they're watching you. Big Brother is always watching you. Thanks to Hoover and many other people, they made that act to watch you. Okay? And these are the people that turn around and say that they're in the religion, but their lifestyle is not so orthodox. And I hope you guys can understand that. I made sure I didn't use certain names or whatever, because you guys can figure out which religion I'm talking about. But these are also the same type of organization, and I'm referring to the nationalists in these organizations of religion. They're the ones that build these schools. And they take these schools, because they can't do the certain things in America, they bring it to other countries. And then they try to brainwash people. And then they end up harming the people, them children. And then when the silence, it becomes unsilent and someone speaks out, you hear the story and you don't hear the story again. Because they use money and they use their leverage to cover it up. Okay? There's the ones that turn the religion and saying that you should have certain type of orientation. But 9/10 of the time, they're in the same orientation. But like I said, they live on Orthodox life. But behind the scenes, you don't know about that. But you know, the devil comes in shape, size, and color. And the devil likes to play games. His number one game is maliciousness and manipulating. And these are the people that want to come in and rule the government with an iron fist. But they talk about other leaders, how they dictating it. If you look at now, people are not following the Constitution. People are making their own laws. They're not even looking at the protocol of the Constitution. Okay? From the executive, legislative, and surely from the judicial. How many people have had unfair trials ever since certain people been running, from the Trump administration to the Biden administration, even Obama's administration and the Clinton administration? Clinton administration was making general pops alongside with the Bush administration, junior and senior, overpopulating of people to go to prison. And it was mostly black people in prison. Reagan administration not only incorporated drugs, but he failed the economy by stripping out certain places in the union, and also turning all the industrial assembly lines to be transferred to foreign countries so that he can make money and he could turn around and save his friends from taxes. You know, these are the same people when you see them on this social media app, which they saying they want to ban, and they even turn around and vote to ban. But meanwhile, they bring their political and their views inside there. Candace Owens, she's a nationalist Christian. While we sitting here giving her all the accolades, she's part of them. All right? Because remember, she had an app that was basically dealing with Christianity people, and some of the things they said was racist. So I wasn't surprised when she went to the Daily Wire, because she did her homework. She studied. She knew that these were racist people. These are the people that's targeting people in the black community, believe it or not. They're national Christianists, and they have black people in there that's sitting there targeting against their people. Mind over matter. Knowledge is power, but the power is gained by the power of the tongue. Use your knowledge.
Will women have the right to vote tomorrow if you wave that magic Christian wand? No.
Y'all heard him. Christian nationalists don't believe that women should have the right to vote. Look, us Democrats know that Christian nationalists are trying to infiltrate the government and create laws that benefit them, that include taking rights away from women. So this post is for those ultra-conservative, MAGA Republican white women that vote against their own interests. We've lost bodily autonomy. We've lost the ability to divorce while pregnant, and now they're trying to take our ability to vote. How far are you willing to let them go before you stand with us? Vote blue in November if it matters to you.
Have the right to vote tomorrow if you wave that magic Christian wand?
No.
Okay.
If you are not terrified by the idea of Christian nationalism taking over our government, I don't know what your problem is. We need to vote like our lives and our rights depend on it. Because they quite literally do. Because they're telling us loud and clear where we're headed. And people are not paying attention.
Well, when I tell you that Christian nationalism is so incredibly dangerous, I am not kidding.
Let's say you can wave your Christian nationalist wand. We wake up tomorrow in a Christian nation, a Christian nationalist nation as you're describing. All right? There's a lot of fears that people have. Here's one of them. Will women have the right to vote tomorrow if you wave that magic Christian?
Okay, let's unpack this. So in this hypothetical scenario, Joel is asked, will women have the right to vote if he's given a Christian nationalist wand? And Joel's answer is an unequivocal no. Because in Joel's mind, this is how a Christian nation behaves, by stripping the rights of women to vote. See, there's actually very little that's Christian about Christian nationalism, because you'd think that if we were a Christian nation, we would provide universal health care for citizens because Jesus told us to heal the sick. You'd think if we were a Christian nation, we'd have affordable childcare and fair wages for people. You would think that a Christian nation would abolish the predatory college loan system that preys on people with ridiculous interest charges, and as a Christian nation, we'd forgive that debt like the year of Jubilee in the Bible. But you'd be mistaken, because for the Christian nationalist, a Christian nation is one where white men like Joel get access to political power, but women do not. It's literally Antichrist. Jesus divested his power for the sake of the other, while Christian nationalists like Joel demand their right to consolidate power to rule over their neighbor. This is exactly why I say that Christian nationalism is the greatest threat to democracy. It's a frail, weak theology where white men make the rules and overrule constitutional rights so they can stay in power over everyone else in the name of God. It's not hyperbole, it's not exaggeration, it's real, and Christians everywhere must oppose it.
Say you can wave your Christian nationalist wand.
Okay. You can go back and watch that if you choose to. I don't know who that MF is. I don't consider him a pastor the way he's speaking. But I want to hear from the women. I want to hear from the Republican women. Do you support this? I'm just curious. What are your thought processes? Do you want your rights to be taken away? Do you want your daughters and granddaughters to have no rights in the future? Just be the good little homemaker? I mean, nothing wrong with being a homemaker if that's what you choose to do. I was a homemaker for the first 5 years of my marriage until we couldn't afford it any longer and I needed to go back to work. But I'm getting off course. What do you think is going to happen to you as a Republican woman or your daughters or granddaughters with guys like this running the show and basically trashing all the progress that we have made for women the past 100 and more years?
I want to know what your thoughts are. Like, is this rational to you? Is this acceptable to you? That you will just be property again, property of a man, and let the man make all the decisions? And again, if that's your choice, so be it. But there are women in this country that do not want to be told what to think, told what to do with their bodies, not given an opportunity to vote any longer. I want to know. I want to know what you're thinking. I want to understand. Please help me understand. Leave me a comment. Help me understand.
So this is all I got from this,
Please.
and it's absolutely clear on what their plans are. It's not something that is hidden. You know, I think I have seen something like this, but from a different person and all that. They actually have been planning on how to strip off women's right, voting right, and all that. And if this is not scary, I don't know what it is. I mean, and the fact that they said the quiet part loud is something that people really like, really have to be up, and like people really have to be up and vote this coming election. Because the fact that I really don't know what, I mean, like, why the Christian nationalists, why they are working so hard to penetrate into political system. Because, like, I have seen some videos circulating online about how the person coming out for president and all that starts selling Bible. Because America is a Christian country, which I do not have any, like, it's a Christian country, but why would somebody want to, why is he selling Bible? I mean, to raise money, because it's a Christian nation. So all these things are what you see, and you know that the letter end might not be so great and all that. And they are already showing and making you all see it. It's kind of clear. It's not something that is hidden. So people really have to sit up. And if you think this is something people really have to, like, keep quiet and not get scared of, I don't know what will scare you then. Because by the time it start happening, taking away people's rights, not not just voting. Because once you stop voting is like the right you have as a human to, like, to make your choice of leader and all that. Can you imagine somebody coming out to take that right away from you? So if they take that right away from you, they are also going to make you stay in marriage, whether you like it or not. Have babies, whether you like it or not. Because it starts from one and then it keeps increasing. So this plan has already been, like, it has surfaced. It is what they are planning towards, and not until people really wake up. Number one is that there are so many Christian nationalists, like all these palm-colored women. This is like, their cup of tea, because some of them are like, how do I say that? I mean, all these Christians that, like, do it in excess, like, everything they got to do is in excess. Like, they know something is not good for them. They know this is not good for them. I don't know. This is not okay. Not even good for any human being, right? But they would rather sit on it and then make that decision of voting them or putting them in power, right? And come back later to tell us that we made mistake and can you guys fix it? Or if we had listened to you all, I think life would have been better or something. They know what they are doing, and then they act up and then come back to tell you that, yeah, we did it, but then can you people try to fix it up? I have said something like this before, that this year is 2024, and if we mess up 2024, we have 25, 26, 27, 2028, right? There is no Black people saving democracy this year, next year, or any other time. So if you decided that because you probably want to punish, like, do some crazy things, like, because this is what they always do. They look for a way to vote against their own interest. Probably because they do not want to agree with Black people or other people, right? And then it will clear in their eyes. So if there is any mess up, anytime, any day, we are just going to be in this mess as long as it's gonna last. And this is really very scary, because if something like, I really don't know where to, like, what to say anymore, but it is really very scary, and it's very dangerous, if you know what I am saying. If something like this ever happens, if they decided to enact this, you can imagine, see, if he has that wand, you all can hear it. It's something that if he has that wand, Christian, whatever this thing, you see what he's going to, he already knew how powerful some group of women are, and they already knew what they can and what they cannot do. And that also is a very big turn off to them. So they want to really come all out. And if somebody is pretending to be Christ-like, number one is that I feel like they really do not even know Christ, because if you know Yeshua, right, you definitely will understand and know that Black Jesus, right? But I am sure that they are not yet aware, right? Or they are still living in this seed that they've been, all the lies and all that they've been. Because if really I don't know, but I don't want to like offend anybody or something like that, but I don't know how you are going to say you are Christ-like and you are enacting a law like this, or you want to enact, or you have something like this in mind. This is a very dangerous law. Very deadly. But yeah, it is what it is. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.